Okay, what's up, everybody? There's a very specific way smart, high IQ traders tend to blow accounts, and it almost never gets talked about, honestly. It happens when trading stops feeling like a risk management exercise and starts feeling like an intellectual debate. You have a strong thesis, you've done the research, you're genuinely convinced you're right. And that's a scary proposition right there, thinking that you're right. Sometimes being right doesn't matter. And that conviction quietly overrides your position sizing. This is prediction market logic bleeding into execution, where confidence starts influencing the amount of risk you're willing to take. High IQ traders can be especially vulnerable because they're used to being rewarded for being right. School rewarded correct answers. Careers often reward being the person with the right answer. So when that same mindset gets brought into trading, being wrong can feel like something that needs to be fought. This is the conviction override. You've built a strong thesis, you've done the research, and you believe the trade is right, but instead of letting your risk parameters determine the size, your confidence starts determining the size. The stronger you feel, the more you're willing to put on. Then the market disagrees, which will happen. And here's where the dangerous part starts. Your instinct isn't necessarily to reduce exposure, it's to add to the position. Trust me, I've been there. I've done that. Didn't work out so well. Because surely the market will eventually catch up to the logic, right? One additional position becomes another, and suddenly the thesis is controlling the risk. That is the ego tax. It's the cost of prioritizing being right over being profitable. And it's one of the most expensive recurring costs in trading, because you can be completely right about the eventual direction and still destroy the account before the market gets there. Think about the actual relationship between direction and risk. You can be right on direction and still lose if your size was wrong. And you can be wrong on direction and still protect your account if your size was correct. Direction gets the attention, but position sizing determines how much damage you're allowed to take. The fix isn't getting less intelligent, it's separating conviction from position size completely. You can have extremely high conviction and still take the exact same predefined risk. Your confidence can influence whether you take the trade, but it shouldn't determine how much you're risking. Here's the rule. Your size must be determined by your risk parameters, never by how sure you feel. The thesis comes first. The risk parameters come next. Then the position size is calculated from those parameters. Conviction does not get a vote. If this made you uncomfortable for a second, that's usually a good sign. It landed somewhere true. Smart traders don't need to become less analytical. They need to stop letting being right become the objective. In trading, the goal isn't to win the argument. It's to protect capital long enough for your edge to matter. All right? Okay, everybody, reach out with questions and trade well.